IRS just lost a court case and now they owe Americans billions of dollars. You probably haven't heard of this court case yet, but in today's video, I'm going to break down what happened, who qualifies, and how you can get your money. If you don't know who I am, my name is Gavin. I have about 1.2 million followers across TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and my job is to help you put more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. So what happened with this court case? Well, let's talk about it. Back during COVID, there was a memorandum that went out with the IRS. This essentially was a law from the government that during the disaster period that was COVID-19, the IRS was not supposed to charge individuals failure to file penalties or interest penalties. You see, what happens usually is if you don't file your taxes on time by April 15th or even quarterly if you're a business, the government, specifically the IRS, will hit you with penalties. These penalties accrue, and the longer you don't pay the IRS money that you owe them, the bigger these penalties become and the more money you owe them. What happened was back in November of 2025, a lawsuit settled. A lawsuit was judged upon. This was called the Kwong versus United States lawsuit. And what was determined in this lawsuit is that the IRS was legally penalizing Americans with failure to file penalties and interest penalties between the years of 2020 and 2023. So what does this mean for you? Well, it means that millions of Americans are owed thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, because like I mentioned earlier, these penalties add up over time. Now, if you are one of these Americans, how do you know if you qualify? It's really simple, and it's a three-step process. Step one is you're going to want to pull your tax transcript. You can do this by going to irs.gov, creating an account, and a lot of times the IRS is going to have you create an ID.me account. It makes it a lot easier for them to give you your data in a more secure fashion. What you can do is once one of these accounts is set up, you can pull your transcript for the year 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. And I'll throw a picture of what these tax transcripts will look like. You'll be able to see on these forms a bunch of useful information, but most importantly, you're going to be able to see the penalties and interest that you paid during these years. If this number is anything above $0, the IRS owes you money, and I'm about to share how you can claim that money, but let me just tell you, millions of Americans are owed tens of thousands of dollars. I talk to so many people based upon my short form content, and it's really significant the amount of people that the IRS owes. The sad thing about all of this, though, is that when the IRS lost this court case, they did not have to automatically give this money back to Americans. Instead, Americans have to claim this money. I'll say that again. If you want your Kwong versus United States money, you're going to need to claim it using a form called 883. Now, the deadline to do this is by July 10th of 2026, because that's 3 years after 2023. And you're going to do this by seeing how much money you owe, filing form 883. The craziest thing about this whole situation is that the IRS is not going to give your money back without you claiming it. And I'm going to go through the claiming process in a moment, but you have a deadline to claim this money. That is July 10th, 2026. The reason why this is the deadline is because it's 3 years after when this disaster period ended, which was 2023. And that's why people are calling this the last refund and during the stimulus era. Now, how are you going to claim this money? Well, you're going to want to request an abatement. And the way you do this is by using the form 843. This form will essentially allow you to fill out all your information, the money that you're owed, and you'll need to specifically check off the boxes of the penalties that you are owed. If you want me to go through a step-by-step process of how to do this, let me know in the comment section by commenting the word lawsuit, and I will know to make a second follow-up video breaking down exactly how to fill out this form. What this form will do is you will mail it to the IRS, and it hold your claim for your refund. Now, this is the whole kicker with the situation. The IRS does not have to pay out this money just yet. Instead, people are going and filing to claim this money, and then when the case is all said and done, they will be able to receive their money. Keep in mind, they've already ruled on this case. You already owe your money, so why do we have to wait? Well, that's because the Treasury is going and they are disputing this ruling, so we have to wait until that plays out. It could take 1 year, it could take 2 years, it could take 5 years, but it takes 5 minutes for you to go all through and claim this money. So if you can, I totally suggest you go and do it. If you need help claiming this money, I partnered with a company called Penalty Back. They're made by Tax Now, and I met with their team going and they created a quiz that takes about 5 minutes for you to take. This quiz will tell you whether or not you qualify. It will pull your tax transcript for you, and then it will help you, if you do qualify, craft the letter to the IRS to get your money. If you need additional representation, which some people do if they are owed significant amounts, this team will go and represent for you for free. The only way they get paid is if you get paid. So that's also why I chose to promote them, because it's really a win-win situation for everyone involved. You get into it with zero skin off your back, and they only get rewarded if they do their job correctly. That's all I have in this video. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do a more in-depth breakdown on the form that you'd have to fill out. And if you want other tax and finance videos, just comment below as well. My name's Gavin. Until next time.